been raising her own hand. Okay, thank you. All right, we can progress. How do we find the mean? So the mean is actually the summation of these cells or the individual scores you divide by how many they are. So I'm asking on the numerator, what do you find when you sum these cells?
I think it's 1,360.
Sorry?
It's 1,360 when you sum all those things.
1,360. Are we all finding the same? Do we have anyone else? Class, we are many in this class. At least many people can be calculating. Just many in the class. So what do you find?
1,380.
1,380. Okay, so far we have 2 answers. Anyone else? You're very, very slow in the calculation. I don't know what the challenge is.
Meme.
Some of us who don't have calculators writing nice one.
So now, how do we learn? Because you need to give me the figures.
We have left the calculators. Myself, I've left it. I thought the time that the class on.
Meme. Into.
Okay.
Ka phone. Mo bag.
Yeah.
Let me think the answer. Let me think the answer. It should be 1,260.
1,200.
And 60, yes.
We are finding now 3 different answers. There is no contingency. Yeah. Can you just sum? Hello? Okay. So that is what is there. Let me just end here. What is there is you sum all these numbers. After summing them, you divide by how many they are. That is the arithmetic mean. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We move on to the mod. We move on to the mod. How do you find the mod? So the mod is the most frequent number, the most frequent score. Okay, the score that repeats many times, that appears many times. So when you look at these number of cells, which one is a model score or the model cell?
140.
140 appears how many times? Let's count 1, 2, 3 times. Okay. If it is the one that appears more times, then we have 140 as the mod. The most frequent number, the one that appears many times, that is the mod. Is that clear? Okay. Then when it comes to the median, you will have to rearrange these in ascending order. You start from the smallest to the biggest number. So let's start from the smallest, and the smallest is 110. What comes next?
120.
Okay, plus 120. What else?
130.
How many 120s do we have? We have to mention all of them.
120s are 2.
120 plus 130. Did you say 130?
Yes, 130.
How many 30s do we have?
Just 1.
Plus 140 plus
140
140. plus 140 plus
plus
the
150
150 plus the
plus 150
150 again plus
plus 300.
plus the 300. Okay. So now how we find the median? We are just looking for the number that is in the middle. Okay. The one that is in the middle. How many they are? They are 10, right? They are 10. Okay. So to find the median, if sometimes the numbers are too many, you can't manage to use that method where you are canceling, the cancellation method. You can use this method where you say median is actually half, the mid. So you say half times the n, okay, the number of the individual scores. They are 10, so you can say half times what? Times 10, right? This gives us 5, isn't it? Hello? That gives us 5. We are looking for the position of the median. So we get 5. Now listen, when you calculate, you find that the position, the number, this index that gives you the position is a whole number. What you will do to find the median, you will count these individual scores, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when you reach on this one, which is number 5th, then you take the sum, or you take the average of the 5th number plus the next one, which should be the 6th, of course. The 5th and the what? And the 6th. Then you take the average thereof. You say 140 plus 140, you divide by what? By 2. Obviously, that gives you 140 again. I know you have not heard, I'll repeat. So the way how you find the median, you want to find the number that is in the middle, okay? You just say half times the n, where this n is just the number of those individual scores, how many they are, all right? They are all together, the points are 10. So you say half times 10, which is as good as dividing 10 by 2, and that gives you 5, right? 5, position number 5. So since 5 is a whole number, listen, since this 5 is a whole number, what you do is that you add, we will count these numbers. The one that is on number 5, you will add it to the one that will be following. Then you take the average. To take the average means to divide by 2, and then the sum is actually the median. Is that clear?
It's not clear. Can you try to repeat again?
I am saying you want to find the median. So you say half times the number of these, how many are they? The score points, there are 10 of them, these areas, there are 10. From A up to J, there are 10, okay? So you multiply half times 10, that gives you 5, right? Position number 5, this implies that the median will be between position number 5 and the next position, okay? Position number 5 plus the next position is 6. So you get the number that is on position number 5 plus that one which is on position number 6. Then you take the average, meaning you divide by 2. And then the answer is the median. Clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. Now, what if you find that this number is not a median? It's not a whole number. Okay, those are questions I expect from you. What if it is not a whole number? Maybe it is 2. Maybe you find that it is 2.3, like that. All right. So what you will do actually, you round this number off to the nearest whole number. Okay. If it is not a whole number, this index is not a whole number, you round it off to the whole number, the nearest whole number. And once you find the nearest whole number, which is in this case is 2, then you just count these numbers, okay? You count these numbers. The one that will be on position number 2, position 1, position number 2, that will be the what? That will be your median. Is that clear? I'm saying in case it is not a whole number, you round it off to the nearest whole number, and just count these numbers. This one is not the median, it's just the position. It is telling us the position where you find the median. Is that clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
We find now the quartiles. So these data, they can be also summarized into what we call the quartiles. So what happens is that you can divide these data into 4 divisions, 4 equal divisions, right? Those are the groups of 25%, each 25%, 25%, and another 25%. Those are called the quartiles. So the following are the formulas that you use when you're finding the quartiles. So to find the first quartile, you want to find the first quartile, you shall say quarter 1, let me say quarter 1, the first quarter, it is equal to 1/4 times what? Times n. Okay, that is the first quarter. This one will give us the position, actually. This one will just give us the position of the first quarter, right? The position of the first quarter, just say half 1/4 times that number. Okay, how many they are to find the first quarter? So in this case, how many are they? They are 10. So to find quarter 1, you shall say 1/4 times 10. What do you get as the position? What do you get as a position? What is 1/4 divided by 10? Oh, sorry, 1/4 times 10, which is same as 10 divided by 4. 10 divided by 4.
2.5.
2.5. So this is 2.5. Now, I said that if you find that this number, this position number is not a whole number, you round it off to the nearest what? Whole number. Okay. And when you round it off to the nearest whole number, this one will be 3. Which simply means now when you start counting these numbers, of course, you have to arrange them in ascending order. Is that 110? From 110, you have 120. Again, 120. 130. Another 130. How many 130s do we have? Just have
130 is just 1.
Okay. So plus 3 140. 140 again. 140. Then you have 150. We have 150, eh?
150 there are
Yes,
2.
Plus 150 again. Then you have 300. Okay. So it means that the one that was on position number 3, that would be the 25th percentile or the first quarter, actually. That would be the first quarter, which is actually equivalent to 25th percentile. So this one, which is on position number 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the answer is 120 as lower what? The lower quarter or quarter 1. Is that clear? Hello?
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
lost. Yeah.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. What I'm saying is that the first thing that you have these numbers now, right? You have these numbers arranged in ascending order. So you don't know the number to pick that represents the lower quarter or quarter 1. So we're given the formula that should guide us the position, okay? The position at which you are going to find that number. So the position of quarter 1 is found by saying 1/4 times the n. Our n is the number of the areas that we're given. They are just 10, right? This gives us 2.5. Now, I did say that if this index that you have found is not a whole number, you round it off to the nearest whole number. That shall be 3, right? This 3 is not the lower quartile. It is just the position, okay? The position at which you find the lower quartile. So you count these numbers now. You come after you have arranged them in ascending order. Very important. First, you have to rearrange them. Make sure that they are arranged in ascending order from the smallest to the biggest. And you count them. You have 1, 2, 3. The number that is on the third position is 120, which means that 120 is the lower quartile. Did you get that one now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Someone was
it's,
okay.
it's clear on that one. But these other 3, I'm behind. I wasn't. My phone was giving me a problem, so I'm not clear on mean, mode, and median. Okay.
The mean is just the summation of these numbers. You just sum them the way how they are and divide by 10. Just add these together. Add them and divide by 10, all right? Then the mode is the most frequent number, the number that appears many times here. And we discovered that 140 was appearing 3 times, right? It's appearing 3 times. So 140 is the mode, okay? You have heard? She was asking, she's not responding. Are you fine now? Have you gotten the explanation?
Yes, I've gotten the explanation for the mean, mode, and then the other one, the
median is the one that I'm explaining, right? That I'm just from explaining. I said the median is just the same way how we find the lower quartile. It's only that you say 1/2 times the number of what? This number of individual scores, they are 10. That gives you 5, all right? Now that this number is a whole number, you count these numbers up to position number 5. Then you get the number that is on position number 5 plus the one that is next. The next position will be the 6th position. Then you divide by 2, all right? That gives us 140 again. You got it? Okay. And so we find the upper quartile. Let's find the upper quartile. How do we find the upper quartile? The upper quartile is found by saying 3/4. Actually, it's read quartile 3, the third quartile. It is equal to 3/4 multiplied by n, okay? So it shall be 3/4 times 10, right? 3/4 times 10. 3/4 times 10. What do you get? Three over 4 times 10. Hello? Okay, you find 7.5. Okay, so now you check again, you find that 7.5 again is not a whole number. Okay, since it is not a whole number, we said you have to round it off to the nearest what? Whole number. So it means that the third quartile or the upper quartile shall be on position number 8. Is that clear? Hello?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, position number 8. Then you count these same numbers. The one that will be on position number 8, it will be the third quartile or the upper quartile. So what is the upper quartile? Just count these numbers that are arranged in ascending order. What is the upper quartile? 150. 150. Yes. So, okay. The hand is up Olimpo. What's your question, Madam or sir? Sorry? What is your question? Your hand is up.
Are you getting me, sir?
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
Yes, sir. Me, I'm behind. I had a problem with my network. So I
Okay.
left you on one question. I mean, the first question, that is number 2. That's why I left you. I had a problem with my connections.
Okay. Don't panic. Don't panic. The co-host is recording the class. Obviously, the recording will be shared. Yeah, do not
All right,
panic
okay,
very
sir.
much. So
But
All
sir,
right.
that's what we always say that you'll be sharing the recordings, but you haven't shared yet.
have I ever promised to share the recording or the notes? I have been promising to share the notes, not the recording.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the semi-quartile range. Semi-quartile range. So how do you find the semi-quartile range? So the semi-quartile range, it is actually quartile. How do you find the semi-quartile range? Anyone? How do you find the semi-quartile? Okay. So the word semi means half. So you say half the quartile, actually. Half the quartile is what? It's half over 10. That gives us 5, right? So it means that it is on position number 5. Position number 5 plus the next position. This index just gives you, what it does, it just actually gives you the position number. It does nothing much, but to give you the index number, okay? It gives you the position number. So it is on position number 5 plus the next one, then you take the average. So position number 5 and 6, you say 5, position 5 plus position 6, you divide by 2, okay? So what is on position number 5? What number is on position number 5? It is 140, right? So it is 140 plus 140 divided by 2, that gives you 140. Is that clear? As a semi one.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Why have you gotten two numbers 140s? Why?
I said that if you find the index number is a whole number, then you have to count the number, these numbers, okay, up to the one that is on the position of the index number. So the index number is 5. So you get this number which is on position number 5 plus the next one, which will be position number 6. Then you take the average. That is how you find the quartiles. That's what I said. Because it is a whole number. But for the one that is not a whole number, I said you just round it off towards to the nearest whole number, and the position, the number that is on position number, or the score that is on the position represented by the index number will be the quartile range in question. Clear? Hello, is the questionnaire fine now?
Yeah, clear. Fine.
Okay.
I've got a question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, if you add 240 plus 240, sorry, 40 plus 40 to give us 280. 280 divided by 2 is giving us 210.
It gives us what?
210.
What are you adding? 140 plus 140 divided by 2. What do we get?
140 plus 140. It's giving us 280.
Divide that by 2. What do we get?
We divide by 2. It's giving us 210. 210.
Giving us 140. That's helpful.
What calculator are you using, sir?
I'm using my phone.
I think the phone should have a challenge, or maybe you're not pressing it rightly. Because if you add 140 plus 140 is 280. 280 divided by 2, it should give you 140 again.
Divide by 2.
By 2, divide by 2.
Yes. 140 plus 140 is 280. 280 divided by 2.
What do you get?
We get 210.
There are just the two things involved. It's either you are not rightly pressing the phone, or the phone has a challenge. But otherwise, we know from practical thinking, even if you do those things you learned in primary school, you can, let's say 210. Let me remind you these things. Let's say 210, right? 210, sorry, not 210, 280 divided by 2. 280 divided by 2. You're learning that you can divide 2 into 2, 1. 2 into 8, 4. 2 into 0, 0. Those things, do you remember them? That is, I think the calculator tab has a challenge or something. All right. We can move on to something else. Let's talk about the interquartile range. I've added the question. The interquartile range now. What if the question is asking you the interquartile range? The interquartile range is found as quartile 3 minus quartile 1, or upper quartile minus the lower quartile.
Martin.
The sir has left or something, or it's just my phone or something.
I think there's a challenge with the thing he's using.
And the phone maybe they were interested.
All right. Just share the document again. Okay. So I was on the part of the interquartile range. I was commenting on the interquartile range. I said the interquartile range is given as the third quartile minus the first quartile, of which we have already found these previously. So just subtract that number you have found, not the position, please, the number itself. Okay, the number itself, the interquartile range, the upper quartile was 150 minus the lower quartile was somewhere 120. Then you take the difference thereof. It shall be the interquartile range. But if the question is asking about the semi-interquartile range, those are questions you expect, especially those I've added. Semi-interquartile range, it means that you say quartile 3 minus quartile 1, then you divide by 2. So after taking the difference here, you divide it by 2, and that is the semi-interquartile range. Clear?
Not clear, sir.
What is your question, sir?
This on the standard deviation.
I haven't talked about it. I have not yet talked about it. Me, I'm asking about what I've talked about already. Any question?
I think on the arithmetic mean and the mode.
So I said the arithmetic mean is just the summation of these individual scores. You sum them, then you divide by how many they are. So just sum the number of the cells, 150 plus 130 plus sum all these numbers, you divide by 10, they are 10 altogether, these areas. And that is the arithmetic mean. Then the mode we said is the most frequent number, the one that appears many times. And we concluded that 140 appears several times. Okay, standard deviation. How do you find the standard deviation, SD? So the standard deviation for ungrouped data is given as the square root, the summation of the x variables minus the mean x bar. You square the expression, you divide by what? By n. Okay. You square, you divide by n, that is for the population mean, or n minus 1 for the sample mean. So let's find the standard deviation. So if you have seen the standard deviation, simply means you have to add, you have to sum, right? This expression, which expression is that? X minus x bar, the mean. Now I've seen you have not found the mean. That's where the challenge is. You have not, you didn't give me the mean. I was asking you. So what you do is that you get this number, which are these numbers, these individual scores. For example, you get 150 here as your x. These will be your x's. So you say 150 minus that mean. Okay, that mean, which I taught you how to calculate. Put that mean, you square that plus you go on again, you get the next number, which is 130. 130 minus the mean, x bar. The mean is a number, this one, the mean, just the arithmetic mean that you have found already. You put it, plus you go next to the next number, which is 140. Okay, you continue until you finish all the numbers here, minus the mean, you square that. So when you find, when you're done finding the expression on top, you add the sums. These will give you numbers. You add the numbers, there will be one figure. That figure that you shall find is the one that you write here on the numerator, here on top, okay? Then in the denominator, you sum these, there are how many? There are 10. So you say 10 minus 1, it will be 9. So that number you find divided by 9, then you square root that answer, okay? You square root that answer, that is actually the standard deviation, okay? So that is what is there. Any questions? Do I have any questions?
Explain again. I'm lost.
Okay. The standard deviation, just the same way how you did it at high school. Nothing has changed, I think, at this level yet. It will change very soon. But as for now, we are starting from where you ended from in high school. You learned that you just sum up this expression, the expression x minus x bar. You square that, okay? So what is your x? X is our individual scores. These individual scores you are seeing here, the cells 150, 130, 150, just like that, all of them. So you start with one individual score, you get, for example, here 150, say 150 minus the mean. This x bar is the mean. That arithmetic mean which you have found here, okay, you put it here. Then you close, you square that. Plus again, you get the next score, which is 130, minus the same mean, you square, you go to the next number until you finish all these cells, all these numbers. Then when you are done doing that, you sum up, you add, this is just basic algebra. You get a number, a certain number. That will be your numerator here. That is the one you put on the numerator. You divide it by n, how many they are? They are 10. So it will be 10 minus 1. N represents the number of individual scores. They are 10. The areas in this case. So you say 10 minus 1, which is 9. So that number you find, you divide it by 9, equal, you square root it, of course, after dividing. Then the sum or the solution that you find is the standard deviation. You got it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. It is well. Any question?